Welcome to the Ecom Growth Podcast, the show for founders and operators building real e-commerce businesses. I'm your host, Jordan Lally, and each week we sit down with real e-commerce founders, CEOs, and operators to break down what's actually driving growth, from acquisition and systems to scaling decisions and hard lessons learned. In today's episode, we have the one and only Robert Patton. Robert, for people who do not know you yet or the brand, can you tell us exactly what you sell and who it's for?
Thank you very much. My name is Robert Patton. I'm the CEO of Sheath Underwear, former veteran. Came up with the idea when I was in Iraq on my second tour where it was very hot and I was uncomfortable. And I thought that if I put a pouch inside the underwear, it would be more comfortable and keep everything cooler. And from that point, I kept refining the idea, made it into an actual design, put it on the market through a Kickstarter, actually, and it just kind of took off from there.
That's awesome. Well, really quick, thank you for your service. I know that's not easy.
Thank you. It was
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely.
I loved the army. I loved basic training and just you get to be a soldier and play with guns and do obstacle courses and play in the woods. It's like what the difference is when you go into a war zone, but that's part of the thing. And you just go into a different mindset. You're just on a mission and you don't worry about anything else other than doing what you're there to do.
I feel like people from the military, I have several family members in the military. It kind of is its own thing, almost like entrepreneurship. Like after you get out of the military, you can't work like a normal job. It's like, this is like, I was trained for this over here, you know what I mean? So I'm glad you found entrepreneurship.
Me too. A lot of my friends got out of the army and they kind of got lost in the sauce. You know, you go from being a hero to a zero unless you find some other passion that you can dedicate your life to. And I am very grateful for the fact that I had the idea for Sheath and I have a team that works with me every day to deliver a great product and service to our customers, that it just keeps us going, keeps me waking up with some purpose in my life, as opposed to some of my friends who I see that they're like retired from the military, but they're just kind of like lounging, if you will. There's no real mission or purpose to dedicate their life to, and I have this, so I feel very grateful for that.
Man, I want to talk about that for a second because personally, I played elite level baseball for 15 years. I injured myself and had an ego death, similar to how military men are when they come out of the military. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with my life now? I spent the last 15 years doing two-a-days, only playing baseball, like didn't really try in school because I relied on baseball. And now baseball's gone. It's like, what do I do? And I got lost in the sauce. Like, fell into an addiction, fell into depression, all that fun stuff. It took about like 6 or 7 years to fully bounce back. I'm sober now. I own a business. Like I'm back to my roots that baseball kind of drilled in me, if that makes sense. So I relate to what you're saying a lot, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, well, I wanted to be in the NBA when I was in middle school and high school, and I didn't get very far. I put in my whole effort 100% every day for 6 or 8 years, but I just kept getting injured. Plus, I'm 5'8" and of average athletic ability. But what was interesting that I find after the fact is that work ethic that you develop when you pursue a dream like that, it carries over into other pursuits.
100%. And I always say that sports and entrepreneurship are identical, just identical mindsets. Obviously different between sports and business, but if you have that athletic mindset, it will carry over extremely well into business. Good stuff.
I agree. Yes,
Can you
sir.
kind of can you explain to me and also the audience like how you as the CEO and founder like spend your day to day within the business?
I Sure. Yeah. I mean, I wake up first thing, I meditate because there's a lot of stress and I'm trying to maintain a balanced mindset and just stress level because I work every day. There's no days off, and I might take Sunday off. I'm going to try to take Sunday off, but it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you just got to pace yourself. And so I wake up, I meditate, I read, then I go get my coffee, then I have a morning meeting with my team, then I have other scheduled meetings throughout the day. to enhance our deliverables, or what we're hiring consultants because we've been doing this for 10 years and we maybe plateaued. So we are trying to find experts and utilize their knowledge to get us to that next level. When we started Sheath, we were one of a couple, maybe five different underwear companies that had a pouch, and now there's 100. And this is a decade later, and they're trying to be cheaper or whatever. So we have to. You can't coast. You got to put forth your best effort every day and get the most out of your team. And I am the type of leader who works with my team. I don't have employees that work for me. They work with me and
Right.
we work together, and I just try to be involved in as much as I can. Of course, you have to delegate. You can't do everything. There's no way I could do everything. There's so many moving pieces. I'm in a new warehouse we just moved into, twice the size so that we can expand. But I'm in here moving boxes and building shelving units and mopping floors, just whatever needs to get done to keep moving forward. I don't consider myself better than anyone by any means.
That's a true leader right there. And I also feel like that kind of stems from the military background. As a
Yes.
leader, I personally care about winning and making money than about being right and delegating things that are beneath me, if that makes sense. Like at the end of the day, that's all I want to do is win. Like I'll do whatever necessary to win the game, you know?
100%. Yeah, I'm a team player, and winning, I love a good motivational rap song. All I do is win, 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 no matter what,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
And so, I'm constantly learning. I listen to a lot of podcasts. One of my new favorite podcasts is The Diary of a CEO. I'm
Yes.
just constantly trying to learn from those who came before me. My favorite book of all time is Think and Grow Rich, which has a lot of pearls. You got it?
Do you see that book? Yeah, that's thinking garbage right there. The heart.
Yeah, I
That's my Bible.
me too. 100%. It's a gem, and I recommend that to everyone. Anyone that always asks me for advice, I'm like, "Okay, well, read this book as much as you can over and over."
Absolutely. So I'm gonna, I guess, two questions. Maybe I can spit it out in one paragraph here. I believe you said business is a marathon, not a sprint. I believe business definitely is a marathon. However, I find myself sprinting that marathon. I don't know if it's gonna lead to burnout. But you've been doing this for a little bit longer than I have. Have you experienced that, like burnout? And the follow up question I have for that is, I also meditate and read before I start my workday. How much has meditation had an impact on your cognitive ability?
It is the most vital exercise that I perform every day, twice a day. I do it first thing in the morning and then mid-afternoon, and before I started doing that about 2 years ago, I was kind of a nervous wreck. Like everything was just building up and there was no like way to calm because I don't sleep well. And you can exercise to relieve stress, but I just found I was listening to like various podcasts and I heard this transcendental meditation practice by Jerry Seinfeld and this other comedian, and he was just saying like when he doesn't get a good night's sleep, meditation fills that gap. And I was like, I have to try this. So I found a teacher, taught me how to do it, and ever since then, I've in like 2 years, I've maybe missed two meditations because something was going on. I prioritize it and I love it. It's like it makes me feel good, and then I come out refreshed and ready to get back to business.
Absolutely. So, to shed some more light on that, the way I kind of learned about meditation is, imagine your mind is a circle, okay? And every single day, imagine that the mind is filled. A bunch of squiggly lines filling up, like shaded in this circle. Okay, that's your mind. What meditation allows you to do is remove some of the shading and replace some of that old shading with new ideas, new concepts, new perspectives. Because, in my opinion, when we're trying to solve problems, we only know what we know, and we're constantly thinking the exact same thing. Well, I only know this information, so I'm going to solve the problem based on the information I know. But meditation allows you to take a step back, empty out your bucket, and fill that bucket with new ideas and concepts and things like that.
It
Like
like
Robert, yeah,
synthesizes data.
go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like synthesizes data. And sometimes I have some of my best ideas while I'm meditating, and I call it just a download from the universe. It's not my idea. It just comes through me, and I jot it down and tell my team, and they help me execute.
It comes from infinite intelligence, huh?
Absolutely.
Robert, I feel
100%.
like off camera, you and I can actually be friends. That is so
Yeah.
sick. Back to Ecom. Can you give us an overview of how large the company is from an employee standpoint and also ballpark revenue range?
Sure. We have 12 employees. We have 2 warehouses. One's in Fort Worth, one's in here in Woodland Park, Colorado. We're doing 3 to 4 million in revenue annually and spending somewhere between 1 to 2 million a year in advertising, which we have scaled back because it was just, trying to grow. Now we are trying to take a little bit of profit, but we're noticing that by scaling back advertising, we're seeing the importance of advertising and that sales are decreasing. From in terms of new customers, our typical ratio of a new versus returning customer was about 30% returning, 70% new. And since we've adjusted our advertising, it's more like 70% returning and 30% new, which you can only uh, utilize that. It like rely on your returning customers for so long before you kind of burn out that base. We took a couple of months off. We've learned so much over the years, especially the last couple of 2 years. As number one, in 2024, we became the official underwear of the UFC, which was amazing. It was kind of like a dream,
That's
you
fucking
know.
awesome.
Yeah, we're in the octagon. We're going to events. We're getting all this special treatment. We were at Dana White's Contender Series, The Ultimate Fighter, and just UFC 300, where it was like this most stacked card, and Max Holloway knocked out Justin Gaethje. We're like right there in the background, and these iconic moments. But it cost $1 million to be a part of that, or it's like organization. They call it a brand partnership. So it's got like UFC and Sheath, and we're like partners. I'm partnering with the UFC, which is just like mind blowing because we're not we shouldn't have ever been there. And if you think about it, you have Budweiser and Netflix and Prime and these multi-billion-dollar companies, and my little $4 million company is right alongside them. But the cost did not equate to an ROI, unfortunately. So, but we paid them off. We did our thing. We're in good standing with them. They're always still reaching out to me, trying to get us to come back, but we just weren't getting the ROI. So, but we learned that we didn't need to be spending so much to make the goals that we were wanting to make, and in terms of revenue. But and then it forced us to budget more effectively. Whereas in the past, I mean, we were spend 100,000 plus a month on YouTubers, podcasters, fighters, other fight organizations, and it was like the Wild West. There was no budget. I was just everything coming in, I would put right back into product or advertising, and I wouldn't even pay myself. I accept just enough to pay the bills and pay my team. But let's
Well, that's how you scale. Sorry, that's how you go from
exactly.
a million
Thank
to
you.
2 million in like 3, 4 months. Just invest everything back into the organization.
Yes. And some of my friends that own businesses are like, you need to pay yourself first. I'm
No,
like, I pay myself last.
and
Yeah.
that's why you have the company you have, brother. You know?
Yeah. hmm
So really quick, That's fucking awesome. I cuss. That is fucking awesome. That the fact that you partnered with the UFC. I'm a huge UFC fan. Me and my family always get together on the weekend. Go out. I don't drink anymore, but they get drunk and like we just have a good ass time watching the fights. And I feel like I have seen your company on the UFC Octagon or yeah, Octagon without knowing. I feel like my brain is now making that connection. Like, dude, I'm speaking with the CEO of Sheath, and like I just saw that on fucking TV like the other week. That shit is crazy.
It is crazy. Yeah, they cut out a portion of the canvas. I think I have it right here. I just moved into this new office.
Yeah, do your thing.
I'll just show you.
Yeah.
They cut the canvas out. That's Alexander Pantoja's blood here. And it, so that was it was just iconic. And whether or not we get back to that point, we did it and we'll always be the first official underwear company of the UFC. But I think that platform is more appropriate for $1 billion companies.
It's more so a branding play than a direct marketing channel like Facebook, Instagram, or even Google, YouTube would be?
Totally.
And I also want to say I know what you mean when it comes to utilizing the 70% returning customer base because you can only send them so much marketing material, emails, texts, whatever, before they're like, hey, Sheath, I get it, man. Like you sell underwear. But
Totally.
now, is it 50-50 now? Or where would you feel like the
Well, because we're in January and we kind of cut marketing in mid-December, which in part was due to just we sold 3 months worth of underwear in 1 week during Black Friday, and we kind of underestimated how much we were going to sell. Once I saw what was happening, because I'm in the warehouse at least every few days, and I was like, oh shit, we got to cut the discount, and because we got to make this underwear last for another couple of months. And we were supposed to get a shipment yesterday. It's looking like it's going to be next week, but there's so many variables. So like you want to cut advertising when you don't have inventory, obviously, and increase advertising when you have more inventory. It's like the law of supply and demand. And
Mhm.
when you have more supply, you can do more discounts. When you have less supply, you might have to raise prices, but for sure decrease advertising and don't do so many discounts.
Going back in time, when did you feel like Sheath was an actual business and not just a good idea?
I remember waking up one morning and we had made $250 while I was sleeping. I was like, that was the most money we had ever made in a day. And so that was kind of a moment when advertising partners started accepting our money to promote our product. That also made me, because I was like, they're going to be embarrassed to promote a pouch underwear company on their established, respectable podcast. But everyone started. I mean, we were on Kill Tony and like Shane Gillis and Tim Dillon, and like the list is endless, really. Well, so many different podcasts and YouTubers, and at some point we're making $20,000 a day on some days, and it was just. But it never really hits you. It's kind of weird. I mean, I guess that moment when I woke up and had the $250, but you never accept that this is, it's good enough. It's like, okay, now what's next? Let's take it to that next level.
I can speak on that personally. I think Ed Milet broke it down this way, and it will forever resonate with me. Success is like a great piece of steak, right?
Hmm.
You're at the dinner table with your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. You slice open the steak, you take a bite of that nice juicy ass steak, and you're like, man, that's good. I really like that, but I want some more. And that's kind of how success is. Like I like being successful, but I always want more. And I find that to be true. And I'm sure you basically just said it's exactly how you feel.
It's yeah. I mean, I'm reading this book about Elon Musk, and I read the same biography for Steve Jobs. But this one, it's by Walter Isaacson. I highly recommend it. It's super motivating, and he's launching rockets into space. He's got satellites all over the globe circling, providing internet for the world, and it's still not enough. He's the richest man in the world, and he still wants to. We got to get to Mars, And I love that his perspective on just you have a goal that's so unattainable that you'll never even probably reach it, but it gives you something to push towards for the rest of your life.
This coincides with everything is vibrating. All we are is energy, and energy cannot be stagnant. And if you don't have those astronomical goals, if you aren't pushing upward, growing upward, by default you're decaying, you're dying because we will never ever be constant. So I like that. Is this the same autobiographer, the person who wrote it, from Diary of a CEO? Because I watched that podcast.
Huh.
He like followed Elon around. It was like a three
Oh,
hour
I need to watch
podcast.
that one. His
You
name
didn't
is
watch?
Walter Isaacson. You know, you can only watch so many podcasts or listen to them, and I do listen to a lot, but I didn't know he was on there, and if he was, I'm definitely going to go back and listen to it because
I think he
it
talks
must be. It must be.
for sure, for sure. That's badass. Does he go into his dad, Elon's dad? Just side
Yeah,
quest. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Ernl or
haven't read it, but
Ernl.
I heard his dad was like pretty like harsh on him, you know?
Yeah, and that's where it starts, and it's very similar with Steve Jobs. I mean, this biographer is so thorough, and he interviews wives and coworkers and partners and children or whatever. It's not painting Elon in this light where he's this superhero. It's like showing his true colors, and he's not easy to work with, and he's really hardcore. And it makes me think about my method of leadership, and like I need to be more of an asshole. I'm too nice. I don't know.
I have a separate podcast where I actually interview leaders and thought experts. They completely disagree with the way that Elon leads and Steve Jobs would lead. They think it's better to get your entire team on board with the mission and everyone leads kind of together, opposed to being that dictator, authoritative leader. But at the same
Okay,
freaking
good.
time, they were not Steve Jobs and Elon is Elon for a freaking reason. So maybe we should listen to that leadership advice, you know?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, maybe there's some pearls of wisdom. Well, the one thing I take away is his work ethic. I mean,
Yes.
if nothing else, I need to be involved in more like brainstorming sessions. And he has meetings every night or, in like at least every week with his Falcon 9, which is the rocket that shoots the satellites up into space, and his Tesla team, and then Neuralink and the Boring Company. And I'm like, I'm running one company. I need to at least be more aggressive in my ambition, I think. And I'm compared to most people, I'm more ambitious than average, but that gives me another bar to work towards.
As someone who loves personal development, I am always striving for more. But do you think Elon's happy though?
Uh-uh. It's yeah. I mean, it says it in the book, and I'm trying to be at peace because I don't sleep well. I wake up, you know, 3 to 10 times a night and it's like I'm not terribly worried, but there's something going on with my nervous system, and I do everything I can from working out and meditating and sauna and hyperbaric chamber, and Brian Johnson is my new don't die guru, which if you haven't looked into him, it's now it's on like the diet, and there's so many variables of performing at an optimum level, and I'm trying to do all of the things. So I think where you were maybe going is like balance. You do need some level of balance.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly what I was going with.
yeah, and yeah. So
I think
I do like when I started it, and like when I started the conversation, and when I said that it's a marathon, not a sprint, it's like every day's a Monday and every day's a Friday.
mm,
You gotta balance work and play so that you don't get burnt out. And I mean, I've been doing this for well over 10 years and pretty much every day. I mean, I could take a week off every other year or something and go to Mexico, and
right.
it's nice. I do like that.
For sure. And I also feel like we love what we do, so we don't really consider it work. I mean, sure, there's hard and challenging times, but we genuinely wake up and it's like, let's get it today. Like, like I'm happy to be doing this. Where other people they may not enjoy what they're doing, so that's where burnout may be more relevant or prevalent. If
I
that makes sense.
love my job. I love
Right.
it. I love my team. Yeah. So, and it's funny, my team is all family and friends.
Oh, for
So
real?
Yeah, and they say don't do that, but it's like my brother is my business partner, my wife manages a bunch of stuff, my daughter just came on board,
Oh, that's sick.
and a lot of the other people are just family friends that have come along and doing it together, and it's fun.
I would love a family business one day. I mean, we'll see, but it might add a lot of drama, but well,
It does. It does. Trust me.
I do have a quick question when it comes to growth and scaling. Looking back over the past decade of being in business, was there one decision that unlocked the most growth for the organization?
You got to take risks, and we took a risk with this YouTube channel called dang it, hold on, Alpha M. Alpha M, isn't it something Aaron Marino, and it was like an $18,000 spot for his one of his YouTube videos, and we had never we did like 2,000, whatever a video, but spending $18,000 on one video just seemed insane to me. And I remember we went to a conference that they were. It's an influential conference, and you guys can look them up. They do great. They have like a collection of different YouTube channels that focus on style and personal development and stuff. And we were at the conference, and there was another belt company called Anson Belts, and it's funny because you meet so many other business owners, and they're very friendly, and nobody's ever really trying to withhold information. And I was like, so you guys work with Alpha M, and is it working for you? And he's like, yeah, we do a video every month, and it works. So anyways, I paid the $18,000, and we made $125,000 off that one video. And the problem is that, okay, well, let's do a video every day then, right? Or, every month. So we start doing more and more videos, and the benefit or whatever, the return started decreasing.
Mm.
And but he also got like shadow banned, and there's so many moving factors. But during the Me Too movement and the toxic masculinity uh craze, having a channel called Alpha M, I believe they started shadow banning him, because now where his videos used to get 1 million views, now they get like 30,000. But we were so grateful for his help during, like, to get us to this next level. We kept buying more and more videos, and ultimately our ROI probably like balanced out, and I eventually had to stop working with them, which was hard because, it's like you helped me, but I have to like break up with you. And you build these relationships. I mean, I had like so many UFC fighters and podcasters and YouTubers. I mean, we've hung out and been to their house and met their families, and then, but now, there is a financial component that you have to do what's best for your business.
That's the one thing that kind of not does suck about business, but like breaking up long-term clients or long-term business relationships, it does feel like a breakup. And like it's all love for that company. It's nothing but positivity. But at the end of the day, it is business and you have to do what's right for you and your family, you know?
This is just lion's mane brew. It's not like beer at
Uh,
noon. I'm not.
You're totally good. Yeah, you're totally good, brother. Let's see. I got a list of questions here. Some we don't have to go through all of them.
I'm happy. I mean, I have until the top of the hour, so you just keep let me know.
Okay, perfect. In regards to the content team, what is your, I guess, philosophy with content? How much do you allocate in budget to content? How big is that team? Because I know that's like the winning component in ecom is content.
Okay. So you have your videos that you need to put out on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and now TikTok, and that is a huge portion of our internal team's job. But okay, and then that just is more like for social validation. We're still current, we're still putting out content. They want to see that if you haven't put out a post or a video in 6 months, they might be a little bit more hesitant in purchasing from you. But if they see, okay, they put one out last week or whatever, and okay, that's a huge portion of our internal team's mission. Okay. But also then you're paying other people for them to produce content for you. So there's another component of social validation. It's not just us. These other people are confirming that we are a good product, and Did I answer that? I don't know if I answered that
Yeah, yeah,
properly.
no, for sure, for sure. When it comes to advertising, you said you spend roughly, $1 million per year on advertising. What is the allocation between Facebook and Instagram, Google and YouTube? Where do you find the most profit on those channels?
Okay. Primarily, we spend the most of our money on podcasts, which can be
Really?
so, but it's like so, but they're in your ear, but you are also seeing them on YouTube. So because these people have gained the trust of the listener and the follower, and in terms of Facebook, it's hard to attribute actual numbers because Facebook will tell you you're spending X amount of dollars and you're making 10x that. But when we look on the back end of Shopify, which we use Shopify and ShipStation, just for people out there that are wondering, those I feel are the two best platforms for website and shipping, whatever. So Shopify will say, well, you've only made 3 sales from Facebook. So that there's a disconnect in attribution of the sales that they say that they're giving you. TikTok is our new focus, and there's no ambiguity of the sales because it and they guarantee a return on ad spend. If you look into their GMV max option, they will guarantee you can like if you want 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1, 12 to 1, whatever, you put that in there, and if it doesn't think it can get you that ROAS, that it won't spend your money. So you might have to keep bumping it down until you find that happy medium. And I'm a big fan of TikTok right now. That's but now Facebook is trying to do what TikTok is doing, which is great because we're well established on Facebook and Instagram. So we're focusing on both of those. But YouTube integrated ads where the content creator is it's not, they're telling you and that they wear the product, they're using the product. And the one thing I love is when they actually do, because I'm watching. I know if you're not wearing them because sometimes you'll see someone on social media, they're wearing underwear that's not yours. And you're like, man, they're just doing it because we're paying them. But there's people that that like Dave Smith and Michael Malice and JP Sears, Kill Tony Hinchcliffe. I've seen them in the wild wearing our product, and and those are more genuine ad reads, and they perform better as a result.
Like you said at the very beginning of answering this question, the audience already has the trust of the podcaster. So that word is gold. If he says, "Hey, buy Sheath's underwear," they're gonna say, "Okay, I trust you. I'm gonna buy Sheath's underwear." You know?
Yeah.
You said, I know a lot, sure, not to be egotistical, a lot about Facebook and Instagram ads. I do know the most recent update killed a lot of businesses because of it's essentially ad fatigue on steroids. I don't know exactly how to pronounce the damn thing, but it's like the Andromeda update or whatever the hell it's
Andromeda, maybe. Okay.
Andromeda, thank you, sir. The Andromeda update, where essentially now in each campaign, you need at least 25 different creatives. And here's the fucking thing that pisses me off. Okay, so I have this campaign with 25 different creatives. Great. It's only going to spend maybe 3, 4 creatives or ads max. All right. So a logical response would be, what if I just take these winning creatives, duplicate the campaign, and delete everything else, right? The problem is you will not see the exact same profitability in the original campaign with 25 assets. And it's because of that update. And it's so freaking weird. It's like, in the big campaign, only these 4 ads are spending money in creating sales. Why, when I duplicate it and only have these 4, it's ad fatigue? Like, it's stupid, you know? I did not know, however, that Facebook or Meta is taking the same ideology or principles with TikTok and guaranteeing ROAS. Is how recent is that? That's actually really new to me.
It's very new, and there is a caveat to that. You have to be spending a certain amount and be you have to be getting a certain number of sales. I think it's like 100 or 1,000, either orders or dollars. My dude just told me about it, and it is new. It's brand new, and I was like, get on it, and he's like, he didn't think he just like you. He didn't even think that this existed. This comparison with TikTok and how Meta's copying them. But we have other consultants and they're telling me, and you have employees sometimes, and this is my brother, and he's like giving me this resistance. I'm like, do it. Like, don't sometimes. And I just got done reading a little Elon. I was like, fucking don't give me any pushback. Just do it. I want it done today. And he did
Right,
it.
right. Well, that's
And that
good.
was just like 2 days ago,
Okay. Yeah,
honestly.
I wanna connect with you afterwards and see how that campaign is going on the ROAS guarantee thing. But aside from the ROAS guarantee on TikTok, is there another reason why you are prioritizing that channel, instead of others?
Well, it was brought okay, so one of our partners teaching men's fashion, we've done a dozen YouTube videos with them. They brought it to our attention that TikTok is trying to compete with Amazon and Shopify as not only a social media, but a seller's platform. And and it's just blowing up, and they're guaranteeing the return on ad spend. And our in this particular partner teaching men's fashion, Jose Zuniga and his brother Juan, they pitched us with an offer that would. They also provided a money back guarantee on their service and a 50% discount on this first month to get to trial them. And so we learned about what through them. So it was more of just a presented proposal, and we already had a contract with them to spend a certain amount of money. And they're like, if you just spend it over here on TikTok instead of YouTube, we think you'll get more value out of it. And they had some data to support it, and so we decided to take them up.
For sure, for sure. I mean, data always speaks louder than, a gut or intuitive feeling. With that being said, think back over the last 10 years. How has the way you think about ROAS, cost of acquisition, or LTV changed as you scaled?
Just it used to be um, like a gut feeling, and you build these relationships and you want to keep working with them because we're cool. But now we're looking at data, return on ad spend with each individual partner from each individual video or podcast. And it's all based on we a win-win scenario. I mean, like I'm paying you 3, 5, 10, $20,000 per video, and it's like insane how much these content creators are asking for. But I guess if someone's willing to pay it, then more power to them. Like for me, obviously, if we're not making our money back, we can't continue this partnership. In terms of a CPM, cost per thousand views, we try to keep it around $13, and for us to be profitable is in the like people are wanting 20, 30, $40 CPMs, and it's different per, I guess, like market, because we're not selling a consumable that people purchase monthly. People don't purchase underwear every month, obviously. I mean, maybe some. We do have some fanatics that purchase our like they have dozens of pairs of our underwear, which we love. But
Right.
it's just now we're looking at, okay, we need to find a new pond to fish in type
Mm.
thing.
Not to be too nosy, but has the team brainstormed where that might be?
The like women podcasters, and but I'm the demo. Our demographic, 40 something, slightly more wealthy than most people. I care about personal hygiene and fitness and well-being and stuff. And so usually what has worked over the years is I'm into the UFC, I'm into fighters, I'm into comedy and politics and learning more, whatever. So like whatever I'm into is where we're spending advertising dollars. Like literally the podcast that I'm listening to, or some for derivation. One of the things, like, this is how it all started. If you went on Joe Rogan, we would get you and we would start sponsoring you if I liked the podcast, that like the conversation that I heard, and that worked forever. But some of these guys, like I said, went from being a $2,000 to $4,000 per video to now it's 25,000, and I'm just like, okay, well, you just outgrew our relationship.
Yeah.
but it worked. We were in on the ground floor with, I mean, if you don't know Tim Dillon, he's pretty big. Shane Gillis, Kill Tony, Mark Norman, Joe List, Ari Shafir, whatever. There's JP Sears. There's a lot of people we've worked with. Dave Smith, but whatever. We still work with some of them.
Looking back, I know Tim Dillon and I know Kill Tony. I might know the other ones if I see their face, but those 2 names I definitely know.
Yeah.
Looking back, was there any I guess, what is the number 1 most expensive mistake that other founders can avoid that you think that you probably made? Yeah, we're gonna talk about lessons in hard yeah, in hard lessons and mistakes to help the other people out.
I mean, the UFC was a pretty brutal one, but also I wouldn't change it, you know? Like it's in the history books now. But just not analyzing the data as thoroughly as you can. You know, they say 50% of all advertising is pointless, and but you don't know which 50% or something. There are, with AI now, we created a tool that will pull all of the videos that we are a sponsor of, and now we're seeing like on a spreadsheet, okay, this is how many views it got, and then we compare that with the codes used and in the like real time data. And I mean, we were doing it kind of, but now we're like precision surgery accuracy.
I'm not sure if you listen to Alex Hormozy. He is such a
Hmm.
fucking nerd at heart, but
Yeah.
business really is just math. And the way he breaks down business from like a logical mathematical standpoint, it's like, now I see why all these big corporations, employees kind of just act like numbers in the system. Because at the end of the day, business really is just numbers and math, you know? And you cannot operate, once you get to a certain level, you cannot operate on it, a gut feeling or intuition. You actually have to look at the data, and that's something that I struggle with as an operator. I'm not the most mathematically inclined person, but there are people within the organization that are more mathematically inclined. And that's where I think if I'm strong in this sector of my life over here, if I have a business, if I'm strong on the left side over here, I need someone that's going to complement me on the right hand side over here. That could be sales and marketing or accounting and making data driven decisions, etc. So thank you for the insights on the lessons learned there.
Yeah, it's all numbers. And I was going on a gut feeling for the longest time, but now it is more like we need to analyze this instead of just, but this at the same time, we wouldn't have got to where we are if we weren't following those initial gut feelings that I had.
Ooh,
And
at what point for you did it become less about intuitive gut feeling and now data-driven decisions? Because you're absolutely right. You got to trust your gut. Like that's why we're in this position.
just like when you're spending so much money and you're kind of like breaking even or even moving backwards now, it hit a, what my dad used to say this, it's like a diminishing returns. You know, you hit like
Yes.
this level of diminishing returns, and you've been doing this for so long, and now you're not making what you used to make or whatever. And plus the economy changed, and like I said earlier, there's more competition, and it was almost easy at the beginning because we were one of 5 pouch underwear companies, and now there's 100. So we have to be more have more intention. Yeah.
No, you're good, brother. I definitely know what you're saying or attempting to articulate. I want to talk about the good now. For 2026, we're like, what's the biggest goal you're looking to smash this year? What are some things that you and the company are looking for?
Like now we're going to be releasing a lot of new product line options. We have a new fabric that nobody else has that we're really excited about, that will, like, it's like a natural fiber, but we'll say it's bamboo, but it's the kind of bamboo that nobody else is doing,
Okay.
and we're really excited about it. I think it's gonna help push us, you know, or at least help our customers. Our existing customers are gonna love it, and new customers are gonna love it. I love it. We're super excited about it. It's gonna come out this summer. We're going to do like pajama pants. We introduced socks last year. We're going to expand our sock line, and we are going to be fishing in some other ponds, but also keep it in my like lane of interests, because we just hired some Gen A's or whatever, Gen Z's, and they're trying to push their interests on, you know, who we should be marketing towards. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not in our demo. And so just wait. You'll learn. You just got here. Chill out.
Absolutely. You can't help everyone. I mean, from a business marketing standpoint or even a product line standpoint, you're not for everyone, you know?
Right.
Let's see here. What's one lesson you would pass down to someone who's essentially trying to get to where you're at? They're trying to break through the first 100K and then break through the first 500K and eventually pass $1 million per year.
Well, number one, you can't quit, obviously, because once you quit, it's over. I would maybe listen to Andy Frisella. He's a great. He used to have a podcast, the MF CEO, but he rebranded to just Andy Frisella, and he would talk about you could start a tire company, and there's multiple tire companies in any given town, but it's how you treat your customers that is going to make whether or not you're successful. You can make an underwear company. I would advise against it. Just kidding. There is a barrier to entry at this point. It's gotten saturated, but there's a little bit of luck involved when it comes to starting something and the timing of starting something. But if you're fully determined to be successful and do everything in your power, you can make a living if nothing else. It's just, advertising is important. It turns out you can't just not promote your product. And we started like we did a Kickstarter, and that was a way to kind of launch a business without any investments up front. But then that'll only get you so far, and you have to have a great product. Quality matters. If you need to really believe in the product yourself, which I believe in the product. Let me show you the product, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
This
go
is
for
our
it.
blue Colossus, and this is just, they look like regular underwear on the outside, but it's not what's on the outside that is important. It's what's on the inside that truly matters. And there's a pouch for the boys. It's got a dual pouch system so that you can isolate Frank and the beans, but it's mainly the original concept was to keep things off of your inner thigh region, and it keeps everything cooler and more comfortable and situated. And we have hundreds of thousands of satisfied customers that love it, and we have 100% money back guarantee. So if you're hesitant, try it, because we'll give you your money back. You don't have to send the money back or the underwear back. We'll just send you your money back. And having, just fully believing in yourself and the product. And if you're it's tough, man. I mean, I've had people come, like, as a business owner and creator, I have people bringing their ideas to me, and some of them aren't that good, and it's like, okay, but somebody's only going to buy one of those maybe in their whole life. There was this game, one of my kind of like well, some kind of game that you would play at a picnic. I forget exactly what it was. And that's cool, but it's not like scalable, or, you're not going to get like returning customers purchasing this product. And there's so many variables. It's tough to say. You just have to go for it. And if you believe in it, other people are going to believe in it. We're not that different. I wear this product every day. I love it. And I know that if enough people try it, not everyone's going to love it, but there's enough people out there like me it'll be successful. And it is.
Absolutely. To recap what Robert here is saying, if you have a good product and you have the skill of marketing and advertising, you will never be broke. You'll never go hungry.
Yeah. I mean, and you can learn along the way. You don't have to even know what you're doing. That's the thing. And you can learn this and Think and Grow Rich. I didn't know how to start an underwear company, but I figured it out. And if you want it bad enough, you're going to do what it takes to learn along the way. And the universe will rearrange itself to push you forward, but it's going to test you. You are going to get tested. You are going to run into obstacles, and most people will quit at the first obstacle. And before they even start, people will talk themselves out of it, like, oh, it'll never work out. And you listen to a family or a friend, they're going to say, that's crazy. And and if you listen to them, then they're right. But if you listen to yourself and you truly believe in what you're doing, and maybe you have to lie to yourself a little bit, but be delusional, you know?
Yes.
I
No,
was dumb enough to think that it was possible, and here we are.
You have to this coincides with the conscious and subconscious mind. Our subconscious beliefs dictate our reality. If our reality in today is the opposite of what we want our future reality to be, Robert, you have to be delusional. Your inner world, your inner state has to be of peace, of wealth, of prosperity, even though when you
100.
open up your eyes, it might not be that right now. But internally, it has to be that way before reality can actually catch up. The second thing I want to say is if your parents or your friends are doubting your ideas, ask yourself this question here. Do you want their life? If the answer is no, do not listen to their advice. It is fucking worthless.
Uh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, my brother, one of my younger brothers with me, and he's a partner in Sheath. But my older brother, he's still to this day is telling me to like sell the company and get out of it while you can, and it's bananas. People are going to try to pull you down like crabs in a bucket, and they don't want you to succeed because they didn't ever take that risk, and they don't, and if you take it, it's going to make them feel bad about themselves. It's this weird psychological like whatever
Yes.
anomaly that they think that they're maybe having your best interest in mind, but it's really their own issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It so is. It so is. Robert, any closing notes you want to add? Where can the people find you, my friend?
I am at Bobby the Bank on all the socials, Robert Patton CEO on TikTok. But I really appreciate you having me on here. It was a very fun conversation. Great minds think alike, and I think you have a great future ahead of you, with especially with your perspective on things. And we were agreeing on a lot of the foundational principles of success. And if you're out there and you are thinking about doing something, there's no time like the present to put forth the effort. And but read the book Think and Grow Rich, watch the movie The Secret, believe in yourself, the law of attraction, feel it as within.
So without.
Yeah, exactly. And so you got to believe it internally, and then you can manifest whatever it is that you're trying to create, and just believe in yourself and you can do it.
Absolutely. Robert, like you said, it was a pleasure having you. I was laughing my ass off. So many gems, so many insights. Let's definitely stay in contact after the episode. By the way, I'm in Utah and you're in Colorado, so we're essentially neighbors. So yeah.
We're
Anyways,
not too far.
yeah. Audience, thanks for tuning in, and until next time.